My name is Belle, and I'm a sustainability student with a focus on fashion and textiles. I'm doing an assignment about digital fashion in augmented reality. As an aspiring AR creator myself, I just want to know what's going on in this space. I thought the best way to do this would be to talk to some creators, understand what their values are, and gain some perspective. So here is what I learned, and follow along if you want to know more. This has been fun and all, but now we have to talk about something serious. Finances. The economy. How can I make a living out of this?
Well, that's the part which is not that positive because I guess as, maximum 20% of people are making money and are able to sustain their life with that. But usually usually creators are not making enough for, having a comfortable life, which they are absolutely worth.
Yeah, right now I think it isn't really possible to make a living out of digital fashion just because the markets are so small that you can't really sell without going into NFTs.
People don't understand what it really takes to create this AR because they think it's very simple.
As I know, the main source of income for digital creators, for AR creators, is to take commissions, right? So you make filters for brands, you improve their, let's say, user engagement side, you create digital try-ons, you create something which reflects the branding, it reflects the media representation of a brand. I believe would be the main source of income. Ideally, of course, we all are creators and we want to create our own stuff, we want to create our brands and elevate our own narrative, our own stories. And in this case, if you're selling your stuff, really, there are very, very few marketplaces to sell your art, right? It is what we have Filter, which is monetizing your filters because you sell them as an NFT. There is Jevels.com, this startup by two beautiful women, Barb and Susie, which sell your Snapchat filter, but they also sell the 3D model, right, which you can use. So that is also a business model. 010, who also offer you to maybe sell your item as an NFT. So far, digital, like selling your digital items, is really, really connected to the blockchain technology, which is very volatile, right? It's not stable. It's very much dependent on everything and on big hype, which is not really playing, the best for us.
I mean, as an aspiring creator myself, it's scary to think about how I can support myself while doing something I'm passionate about. But we shouldn't discredit digital fashion. There are still many, many creatives who are able to make a comfortable living doing digital fashion. I mean, we're talking to some of them now, right?
We as early adopters are learning these very difficult, complex technologies and are able to, constantly learn because every time the software updates, we also have to update ourselves, and there are new possibilities are coming, new projects, new companies are launching something new, and we always have to learn. And every time when we think, okay, like we created this collection and it's optimized for everything, we will never have to do something again with it, and after another fashion week comes and you have to optimize all over again. So that's very challenging, and that's why the price, the fair price for the work of the digital creator should be very high. But from the positive side, there are people who already was able to do that. So you see that it's possible, that there are finances in this industry. There are big finances in this industry.
In about 5 to 10 years, when digital fashion is well known and the marketplaces have developed, then I think it's just the same as like selling t-shirts online or have your own fashion brand or something like this, but entirely in digital space. So I think it's about the time, not about how much money you can make, because we see how much money you can make with digital, with fashion in general. Let the markets develop and give them more time, and then we can make money.
It's still new. It is still very, very new. right now what I'm seeing is a lot of brands are using it as maybe like an experiment or as a marketing ploy, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because the good thing is that these brands are giving it a go, and essentially is a risk, because right now we don't know what the returns are. A lot more people, especially younger generation, are going to be attuned to digital. They're going to be like, it's going to be like their second nature, having a way to express themselves digitally as well as physically. So I feel like that's the trend that's going to happen. It's whether it happens in the next 5 years, it will be interesting. But I do believe that this space is going to keep accelerating.
However, we should acknowledge that digital fashion is really still in its infancy stage, particularly with AR. This industry really only started to gain traction a couple years ago, and I only heard about it about a year ago. We shouldn't be judging completely off what's happening right now. A lot of things had to happen leading up to this point, right? So what's it going to take to grow the digital fashion and AR economy?
If the technology gets better, if the technology advances, then AR and digital fashion they're like holding hands, because the way to experience digital fashion is there's only a few ways you can do that, and that's AR or these virtual worlds like avatars, or you have to like upload a picture and someone photoshops it on top of you. So those are the few ways right now. So as soon as the technology becomes more accessible and also affordable, it will be a lot easier to onboard like the mainstream public, to get them to understand why we would even wear these filters.
Well, that's the thing. They have such higher expectations, right? These people are like, why even do it if it looks extremely bad, extremely laggy? Like, isn't that supposed to be like new technology? It looks like we're going back. I understand that. Like, that's the reason I use this, some softwares over the others, because to me it doesn't look real enough. Like the experience, if my filter like it lags out, right? If the textures don't look super realistic, so people are just disappointed that some stuff just doesn't look real enough yet.
If we look at Fortnite, for example, Forbes reported that Epic sold 3.3 million NFL branded skins during their run in November and December. Those skins were 1,500 V-Bucks each, about $15 if you're not accounting for bundles. So that's around 50 million from a single set of skins. That deal encompassed all the NFL teams, where you could choose your favorites to represent. And this can be applied to fashion AR, right? The more people who want to learn about it, take part, maybe even create, the more it will become mainstream and normalized. And that's how digital fashion will grow its economy. With AR, it might seem like a bit of a waiting game, but Tom has some really great advice.
When I started learning Blender, I always had this question in mind, like, would this be an hobby or can this be a full-time job? And if it can be a full-time job, how much money can I earn with it? And right now is the best time to learn like 3D softwares, because currently the Web3 space relies so heavily on creating assets. And if you want to start right now, then do it, because if you are one of the first ones, you have a huge advantage.
And that brings me to my next topic. Follow along if you want to find out.